Hey, so good afternoon. It's a hot Saturday afternoon. We're kind of finishing up a scout camp. Um, we haven't been camping since the COVID broke out, so this was a nice opportunity. We normally don't like to camp at the end of June like this. It's just so hot down here. But so I'm sitting here watching the boys. Kind of, we're already packed up and ready to go, but they're playing cornhole still, and it's kind of sad. This may be my last camp out. So, a couple of weeks ago, the national headquarters of the BSA, Boy Scouts of America, decided to send out an email to all of us volunteers and notifying us that they're making some changes. They have told us we need to be brave, that obviously we haven't done enough. Obviously, we don't live up to the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. So now we're going to be required to take diversity and inclusion training, new merit badge requirements to make Eagle, in addition to the already heavy load on making Eagle Scout. I think there's 3% of Boy Scouts actually make the rank of Eagle. So the email was very accusatory. Now, a lot of you who know me, I've got 6 years Navy, 5 years Army, National Guard, and I've spoken often about my I guess amazement that when you're in the military, you tend to not see color, except for blue or green, depending on which branch of the service you're in. And it kind of whitewashes it. Everybody's just an American. You go overseas, you're an American. So next to that, my 12 years in the Scouts as an adult leader, through Cub Scouts and as a Scoutmaster, that's one of the things I've loved about it. It is the least, at least the Scouts that I joined, okay, when I joined this organization, the least bigoted organization I've ever seen. I mean, it's the one place you can freely practice whatever religion you want. All colors, diversities. Scouting organization is worldwide. If you really take it to that next level. To say it infuriated me would be an understatement. Okay, and this isn't the first time National has made a stupid, stinking mistake, sticking their toe into politics. But this time they didn't just step a toe. They're now calling us in this email a movement, the BSA, the Boy Scouts of America, as a movement. Okay, they have joined the Black Lives Matter, and again, the organization So to me, Black Lives Matter, of course it does. That's a stupid, stinking statement. Everybody agrees that. So do white lives, so do brown lives, so do Oriental lives. All lives matter, as far as I'm concerned. When you start differentiating, and I think that's the part that just makes me the maddest, is now they're creating victims. Okay, you talk to my black Boy Scouts, they're not victims. They don't see themselves as victims. We teach them how, if you have an issue with the government or with the law or with an issue, we teach them how to get it changed appropriately. By law, get the law changed. You don't agree with something, you obey the law until you can get it changed. Okay? We teach them respect for country. We teach them bravery to stand up, and I think that's another part of this. They say we need to be brave. Okay? Our Scout Law, and it's kind of irritating because it's not bravery joining a mob. Vigilante justice is not brave. You know, when you have hundreds or thousands of people around you, it doesn't take individual bravery. So what are they doing? They're getting into politics. You know, the national, and I got to differentiate between national and our local councils. You know, like our Mobile area council. You've got another area council over in Florida. They're broken up into big area councils, and then you've got your local little council. That's my troop. Okay. The locals are all volunteers. We don't get a say in any of this stuff. Okay. Every time we voted on an issue, national they placate us. They say, oh yeah, we care what you think. We're the actual ones out here dealing with the situation, dealing with parents and dealing with boys and trying to turn them into leaders, okay? Teaching them skills that most adults don't learn until they get in their 20s, okay? Budgeting and how to conduct a meeting, you know, a business meeting, a board meeting, how to attend city council meetings, county commission meetings, how to contact your congressman or senator if you have an issue. That's the kind of stuff we teach these boys. You know, so if you don't like the way something's going, there's a proper way to handle it. But as soon as the movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, turned to violence, I was done. I can't support that. That's not the way you handle things, okay? Now they say they want to burn the system down. So they want to burn the American system down. That goes against everything we teach in Scouts. So how can the National BSA join forces with that? Destruction, violence. How as a scoutmaster, how can I get on board with that? As a veteran, how can I get on board with that? Am I gonna? They're talking about going to Gatlinburg on July 4th, and instead of fireworks, they want to have burning the flag rally. Not like we did last night, where we retired flags and burnt them with respect. I hate to use the term burnt. We retired flags that had passed their lifespan. Okay, my Boy Scouts, respectfully. So the thought of me sitting at a camporee or a summer camp and having some loony scoutmaster over here taking a knee on our flag, and then convincing his boys that they need to take a knee, goes against everything I stand for. You know, if you don't like the way something's going, there is proper ways to go after it. Violence and calling for now they want to destroy white Jesus, any symbols of white Jesus. Look, that is not inclusive to me. That is not. So defund police departments, disband police departments. They want to open borders. They want to redistribute farmland. Really? No private property? They want to do away with court systems? Really? Mob mentality? Is that how you want this to work? So by the BSA jumping on board with this, and then again accusing us of the Boy Scouts of America, us volunteers, as if we're not doing enough. We teach boys how to deal with those situations respectfully, how to give respect, earn respect, get that in return. This is not the first time they've done it, but over the last 3-4 years, they have really been co-opted by the left. And I say that, and it is what it is. You know, when we're scouting, there's no politics involved. There's lefties, there's righties, there's these dumb, stupid national. Do you realize how many law enforcement people have their kids or are scoutmasters and pack leaders and den leaders? Do you even have a clue? Do you not have a clue how many veterans are part of this organization? I know I've been contacted by several who are done. They're done. You know, as much as I hate leaving an organization that I love so much, that have loved so much in the past. I mean, my scouts were the pallbearers at my wife's funeral. Okay, my troops. 4 years ago, she passed away from cancer. She was a member of the troop. They held an honor guard at the funeral home and were the pallbearers at her funeral. So, respect. And I haven't done a national event in a long time. I've never done one. Don't care. Won't do one. And it saddens me greatly. My son, I don't have a child in Scouts except for my son, who made Eagle Scout, earned the Eagle Scout, and decided to carry it forward. He came over as a Scoutmaster, and he is done. This infuriated him. He couldn't believe that the Scouts would get that far into politics. First, I mean, beginning of the stinking email says, well, this is not about politics, and then dives right into politics. Mentions the death of Mr. Floyd, which is horrible. Police brutality has to stop. I've been complaining about no-knock warrants. The way it's become a little militarized, and it has, and that's both on all sides. But you're letting a few bad apples, and a lot of that is because they like the teachers union, the police union. A lot of these public sector unions protect their own at the detriment of everybody else. So you wonder why they can't get rid of them, or haven't gotten rid of them? Because it's very difficult. Same way with bad teachers. You got teachers in Chicago being paid to do nothing because they're protected. I'm not even going to go down that road, but I'm done. I will not renew my membership. 12 years, I will not renew my membership, and I definitely won't be taking any diversity and inclusion training. Not going to happen. So I believe you treat everybody with kindness until they show you otherwise, and then you treat them otherwise. So I'm not guilty for the way I was born. This is the color I was. I grew up poor in the ghettos as a poor white kid. So up until about age 11. So I understand that extreme poverty. If I hadn't had an aunt and uncle take us in, it would have been, I would have been down a pretty bad road. So I get it. But you gotta work on your community, and that's white, black, doesn't matter. You got to work on your communities. You got to do good in your communities. You got to be the example. You don't burn down your own communities. You don't set up autonomous zones, and then support autonomous zones. You just don't. That's not helping your community. It starts local. It just does. I firmly believe that. And our national organization, which is, again, you're talking to the board of directors, the CEO. These guys are like the CEO of AT&T, these far left organizations, and they push down and want to indoctrinate. And I'm not gonna participate. So to all my Scout friends out there, I still see you as family, and I love y'all. But I must be brave in this situation. I will not participate in what they're doing. So I like to think that's bravery. Not what they're talking about. Mob rule is not bravery. No, it's just not. So love y'all.